Hey everybody, it's Never, and today we're going to talk about the Legion Developer QA for World Quests and Demon Invasions. I'm just going to go over some highlights. If you want to see the whole thing, you probably already know where to go. Go to MMO Champion or Wowhead or, your favorite site. But a couple of things I want to talk about that I think are really good are the way the World Quest system works. Specifically, it's that they said it's really easy to add more content to it, which I think is great. And there's like 1,000 world quests, and the way that they happen is they rotate in, and some of them last a short amount of time, some of them last a really long amount of time, and they're always kind of in flux, so it's going to be different all the time, which I think is really cool, and it'll keep it from getting stagnant. The other cool thing is that they will pile up. Like sometimes you can keep right on top of them and there's only a few of them out there, or you can let them kind of stack up and then just go do a bunch at once, so it means you don't have to do them every day like the Garrison or like the dailies from Mists of Pandaria, because in Mists of Pandaria we all got like real sick of dailies, like as sick as we are of that song from that Armageddon movie. I mean, I'm still sick of that song today, and it's been like 20 years, man. So another really cool thing is the way that the gear works. There's been a lot of controversy about the item level enhancements that can happen randomly on your gear, and while there's still some issues with that, one of the things I really like that they said is that people with a higher level of gear are going to get better rewards and have a chance to get better random rewards on top of it. And what this all means is that even later on in the expansion, it's not going to be like the gear that you can get just from going around and doing quests, which has a static amount to it, and you could get lucky and it might Warforge or Titan Forge or whatever forge. Once you get some raid gear, then none of the quest gear is any good for you at all. I mean, I remember by the time Tanan Jungle came out, I already had better gear than all the Baleful stuff, so what good is it? But with this way, it means that the higher item level you already have, the better the rewards you get from that are. And I think that's really cool that it keeps the things relevant so that you have even a gear reason and a character advancement reason to go do these world quests. The thing that I keep thinking of is like the dynamic questing thing from Guild Wars 2, and I hope it has some elements of that, but I'm really glad to see that it's not like on timers, because what that eventually ended up to in Guild Wars 2, and I don't know what they're doing now, but the last time I played it, you really just followed this big zerg of people as they went around from one event to another in a cycle over and over again, just to farm stuff essentially. And I'd like to see a little more variety to it, and it looks like they're going to be able to do that. They also really hammered down our throats how much the Order Hall is not like the Garrison, which I can fully understand. I mean, if I had made the Garrison, I'd want to distance myself from it too. It kind of reminds me of that part in Breaking Bad when Jesse's finally just lost it, and he's like, he can't keep getting away with this. And I agree, like, they can't keep getting away with this Garrison crap. Although I've got to point out, over the last little while, it's like every gold mission that the Garrison ever had just came right on back. I've been getting tons of gold from the Garrison, so I guess they want to go out with a bang like a bottle rocket, and I don't really have a big problem with that. Bonus objectives are going to continue into Legion, and they even made a couple of mentions about adding world quests to older zones, which I think is a really cool idea. And they even talked about like the scaling tech in Legion and how that may apply to old zones. They just want to see how it works out and how to sort of harmonize that with feeling like you're a lot more powerful than you used to be for that zone. And I really think the way to do that is to have some sort of switch that you can turn off and on in your UI or through an NPC you talk to, where you can decide whether you want the content to scale. I think that's probably the simplest way to do it, although there may be a more elegant way to do that. We'll just kind of have to wait and see what they think. But they've asked for a lot of feedback. So when the world events start, or the world quests and the events start happening, then make sure you go and post all over the forums which ones you like and which ones you don't, because they're going to keep making lots more of them from what they're saying, and I think that we could have some really cool stuff. I mean, they talked about how some of the quests for PvE and stuff, you go and like use goats to ram each other off of a mountain, and I just think that that's all sorts of okay. So we want some more quests like that. That's pretty good. It's like the Booterang. If you've been around since Burning Crusade and you went and got yourself a Netherwing Drake, you probably remember what the Booterang was. And that was the best quest out there. So anyway, I think I've gone on long enough about this, but go ahead and check it out on MMO Champion or Wowhead or any of those other great sites and read the whole thing, and you'll see. I think that, or at least I hope that you like what you see. And if you don't, then let me know what you didn't like about it or what your concerns are in the comments below. And okay, thanks, bye.
Don't wanna close my eyes. I don't wanna fall asleep 'cause I miss you, baby. And I don't wanna miss a thing.